Anybody, it'd be nice. Did you tell me that? You know that it's your project, right? It's your baby. We're going to cut ours, and you're going to have to do it. Kevin Beets shattered the unbreakable. He turned his back on his father, Tony Beets, and joined forces with his biggest rival, Parker Schnabel. 4 years, the Beets family stood strong, mining together, fighting through brutal seasons, and never wavering in their loyalty. But everything changed. Tune in because this battle is just getting started, and the next move could change everything. A family feud in gold country. Kevin Beets did something no one saw coming. He walked away from his father, Tony Beets, and teamed up with his biggest rival, Parker Schnabel. The Beets family has always been rock solid, built on years of mining together and sticking by each other no matter what. But now that trust is shattered. Kevin's decision sent shock waves through the gold mining world, leaving everyone wondering, why did he turn his back on the family legacy? Let's break it all down and find out what led to this jaw-dropping move. But the real shock. We've only scratched the surface. Tony Beets has been a legend in the goldfields for years. With his wild blonde hair, booming voice, and no-nonsense attitude, he built an empire from the ground up. His crew, mostly made up of family, was the backbone of his success, and Kevin was supposed to be the one to carry the torch. Ever since he was a kid, Kevin was learning the ropes, fixing machines, driving massive trucks, and pulling gold from the dirt. But there was always tension. Tony's way of doing things was old school, hard work, brute force, and stubborn determination. Kevin, on the other hand, had ideas, big ones, and Tony wasn't the kind of guy to change his ways. Kevin grew up under Tony's rules, but as the years went on, the cracks started to show. Every season, there were more arguments about how things should be run. Kevin wanted to bring in new tech, streamline operations, and find smarter ways to mine, but Tony wasn't interested in changing a system that had made him millions. The frustration kept building, and soon it was clear that Kevin wanted out. He didn't just want to mine, he wanted to prove himself, to run things his way. While Kevin was butting heads with Tony, Parker Schnabel was out there breaking records. Young, sharp, and always thinking ahead, Parker was the complete opposite of Tony. His mines ran like clockwork, using the latest technology and strategies to pull in gold faster and more efficiently. People used to call him the kid of the gold mining world, but by now he had proven he was the real deal, and he had one big advantage. He was always looking for new talent. It didn't take long for Kevin to start noticing what Parker was doing. While Tony was fighting breakdowns and using old equipment, Parker was running smooth operations with top-tier machinery, and the results spoke for themselves. Parker's crews were pulling in more gold season after season. Kevin saw an opportunity, and Parker saw an asset. Every family has arguments, but in the mining world, disagreements can cost millions. One bad decision, one broken-down machine, and the whole season could be ruined. For Kevin, the final straw came during a particularly brutal season. The Beets crew was struggling, equipment failures, endless setbacks, and Tony pushing harder than ever. Kevin had ideas on how to fix things, but every time he brought them up, they were shot down. It was the same old story, work harder, not smarter, and Kevin had had enough. Meanwhile, Parker's operation was thriving. Rumors started flying that he was looking to expand, to bring in someone who knew the ins and outs of gold mining at a high level. And just like that, Kevin made his move. He walked away from his father's crew and stepped into Parker's world. It was a game changer. To say Tony was angry would be an understatement. Loyalty is everything in his world, and Kevin's decision felt like a stab in the back. The Beets family had built their empire together, and now Kevin had walked away, not just from a job, but from his father's legacy. For Parker, though, this was a massive win. Bringing Kevin on board meant having an insider, someone who had years of experience in the Beets operation, someone who knew how to run a mine inside and out. Kevin's skills and fresh ideas meshed perfectly with Parker's vision. Suddenly, Parker wasn't just the rising star. He was the guy who had pulled off the ultimate power move. But back at the Beets camp, things were different. Monica and Mike Beets, Kevin's siblings, were caught in the middle. They had chosen to stick with their father, and Kevin's departure felt like a personal betrayal. The once tight family unit was now fractured, and the tension was impossible to ignore. A new path, built on determination, for the individual at the center of it all, the decision to join Parker, was about more than just mining. It was a statement of self-determination. proving the ability to succeed on personal terms outside the shadow of Tony's legacy. This came with a steep cost. The already complicated relationship with his father became even more fractured. While professional success came swiftly, the personal toll was undeniable. Tony, meanwhile, tried to move forward. He doubled down on his mining operations, focusing on rebuilding and proving that the Beets crew could thrive without the departed member. But those close to him knew the absence had left a mark. Tony prided himself on his ability to weather any storm, but this particular storm was one he hadn't anticipated. The loss wasn't just a blow to the crew, it was a reminder that even the strongest families aren't immune to division. Parker's crew, bolstered by the new addition, continued to set new records. Their success served as a vindication, but it also deepened the rift with the Beets family. While Parker's crew celebrated their wins, the Beets crew soldiered on, determined to prove they could still compete at the highest level. The rivalry between the two crews became even more intense, with every gold total and every setback scrutinized by fans and critics alike. This story is one of ambition, conflict, and the struggle to find one's place in a world dominated by larger-than-life personalities. It's a reminder that loyalty is a double-edged sword, and the pursuit of independence often comes at a cost. The decision to leave wasn't easy, but it was a necessary step toward defining a new legacy. For Tony, it was a painful lesson in the complexities of family and leadership. And for Parker, it was a strategic masterstroke that solidified his status as one of the industry's most savvy operators. As the dust settles, the future remains uncertain. The new partnership shows no signs of slowing down, but the scars left on the Beets family will take time to heal. Whether the move will ultimately be seen as a bold gamble or a reckless betrayal is a question only time can answer. One thing is certain, in the high-stakes world of gold mining, where fortunes are won and lost with every season, the drama is far from over. Gold mining is not just about striking it rich. It's a boiling pot of raw ambition, heavy machinery, and clashing personalities. The reality show Gold Rush has never shied away from showing just how messy and dramatic it can get when you mix people with gold fever and enormous pressure. Over the seasons, the series has seen plenty of fiery feuds, some explosive, some simmering under the surface, but all entertaining to watch. These tensions often stem from things like equipment breakdowns, mining targets, or simply personalities that just don't gel. It's the kind of drama that keeps viewers hooked, but for the miners, it's a harsh reality they can't escape. Right from the first season, the Hoffman crew set the stage for how chaotic things could get. Led by Todd Hoffman, this group of hopefuls was big on dreams but short on experience. Their lack of know-how quickly turned into a recipe for disaster, with constant equipment failures and poor mining results piling on the stress. Things reached a boiling point when Jim Dorsey and Greg Remsburg clashed in a way that no one could ignore. Tempers flared, fists flew, and Dorsey's eventual exit felt more like an eruption than a resolution. The crew took it a step further by demolishing his abandoned cabin, almost as if to erase the bad vibes he left behind. Fast forward to Season 7, and Dave Turin found himself at odds with Trey Pons. This wasn't just a mild disagreement, it was a full-blown battle of egos that escalated into an outright brawl. Turin, tasked with managing a team, ended up providing equipment to Pons's more successful operation. The imbalance of success was bad enough, but when their frustration boiled over into punches, it became clear that working together was no longer an option. After years of loyalty to the Hoffman crew, Turin walked away, marking the end of an era for one of the show's most consistent players. Rivalries grow from clashes of ideas and pride, leaving a mark on both work and personal lives. The power struggles of Gold Rush have led to many legendary feuds, and another ongoing power struggle has been the rivalry between Parker Schnabel and Tony Beets. Schnabel, the young hotshot, initially saw Beets as a mentor. However, Beets's no-nonsense style and sky-high expectations made their relationship more combustible than collaborative. Over the years, their disputes shifted from personal mentorship to professional rivalries, with land access and royalty sparking constant clashes. Season 8 saw one of their biggest showdowns when Beets pulled the plug on Schnabel's wash plant, wielding his authority like a weapon. Schnabel hit back, in his own way, by dumping excess dirt on Beets's land, proving he wouldn't be pushed around so easily. Their relationship, marked by grudging respect and constant friction, remains one of the show's defining dynamics. Tensions weren't limited to rivalries between crews. Even within the Hoffman camp, conflict seemed inevitable. Back in Season 1, Dakota Fred Hurt joined the crew and instantly rubbed people the wrong way. His sharp tongue and critical attitude didn't sit well, particularly with James Harness, who became a frequent target of Fred's criticisms. The tension between them disrupted the group's fragile unity, creating a powder keg that seemed ready to explode at any moment. Then, in Season 3, Dustin Stan's arrogant behavior as foreman led to another round of infighting. His attitude pushed the crew's patience to the brink, forcing him to eat humble pie and apologize just to keep the operation running. Season 11 brought a fresh twist with Fred Lewis and his team of military veterans. While their camaraderie was admirable, the stress of mining for gold tested even their strong bonds. One standout moment was when Lewis butted heads with Johnny Sts over crucial decisions, sparking an argument that threatened to derail the entire crew's efforts. Lewis stormed off in frustration, leaving the rest of the team wondering if they could even hold it together. The pressures of gold mining once again proved that no amount of brotherhood could completely shield a group from internal strife. Leadership struggles have also fueled plenty of drama over the years. Parker Schnabel, often the youngest boss on site, faced his share of resistance from older, more seasoned crew members. His aggressive management style and unrelenting drive to meet targets didn't always sit well, leading to notable conflicts like the one with Dean Toshak in Season 9. Toshak's frustration with Schnabel's methods highlighted the challenges of leading a team where experience and youth often clashed head-on. These moments underscore just how tough it is to balance ambition with teamwork in such a high-stakes setting. Financial pressure has been another relentless source of friction. Season 10 saw Rick Nest grappling with mounting debts and a string of equipment failures. The stress of chasing gold with dwindling resources created a tense atmosphere, with disagreements over priorities and strategies bubbling to the surface. Meanwhile, Tony Beets' ambitious expansion plans often led to clashes within his own family as he pushed for larger dredging operations. The strain trickled down to his crew. Including his own children, Kevin Beets in particular found himself at odds with his father's relentless demands, a dynamic that played out dramatically in Season 15 when Kevin ventured off on his own. Their power struggles and personal conflicts added another layer to an already volatile operation. Family drama wasn't limited to the Beets clan, though. They often took center stage, but the tension between Tony and Kevin symbolized the broader challenges of mixing business with family. Whether it was about control, ambition, or simply different visions for the future, their disagreements highlighted how personal relationships can add a whole new level of difficulty to an already challenging industry. Watching their feuds unfold, it's clear that while gold may glitter, it's often family bonds that take the hardest hits. Throughout its many seasons, Gold Rush has shown us that the pursuit of wealth isn't just about dirt, machines, and shiny nuggets. It's about people, their ambition, flaws, and the sometimes catastrophic collisions of both. Each conflict, whether sparked by egos, finances, or simple misunderstandings, adds another chapter to the show's ongoing drama. For the miners, these fights are real, with stakes that go far beyond what we see on our screens. But for viewers, these feuds are a reminder that the true cost of gold isn't measured in ounces. It's measured in relationships tested and sometimes broken. The explosive moments of Gold Rush serve as a microcosm of the human condition, where hope, greed, and resilience collide in unpredictable ways. It's this raw, unfiltered look at people under pressure that keeps fans coming back season after season. The show's biggest feuds aren't just entertaining, they're a reflection of the lengths people will go to chase their dreams, even if it means burning bridges along the way. And as long as there's gold to be found, you can bet the drama will keep digging deeper. Each new season brings fresh faces, new challenges, and the same old question: how far will they go to strike it rich? From the tough lands of the Klondike to leading his own way, Kevin Beets' story is about making his own mark in gold mining. From the Klondike to the spotlight, born on June 10, 1988, Kevin Beets entered the world in a family where gold ran deeper than the veins in the Klondike. His parents, Tony and Minnie Beets, were not just any couple. They were legends in the mining world, and he was the first of their 3 children. With a younger brother, Mike, born in 1990, and a sister, Monica, born in 1993, the Beets siblings grew up surrounded by the roar of heavy machinery and the grind of gold dust. For him, gold mining wasn't just a job waiting in the wings. It was a lifestyle inherited before he could even hold a pickaxe. From a young age, his playground wasn't a backyard, but the rugged terrain of the Klondike. By the time he turned 13, he was no stranger to the mines. His father, Tony Beets, made sure he got a first-hand education, not from books, but from hauling rocks, repairing machines, and watching fortunes made and lost in the blink of an eye. Growing up in such an environment, he learned that hard work wasn't optional, it was the rule. It didn't take long for him to develop a tough-as-nails attitude, one that matched his father's renowned no-nonsense persona. When he hit 19, the responsibility piled on. By then, he wasn't just helping out. He was running crews at the Paradise Hill claim. It was a job that came with high stakes, and he proved he could handle it. Years of early exposure to mining operations gave him an edge most others his age could only dream of. Yet he didn't stop there. While he could have rested on his family's reputation, he chose to carve his own path, a decision that would shape his future in unexpected ways. His thirst for knowledge led him away from the mines, at least temporarily. He enrolled at the University of New Brunswick, diving into an unusual mix of interdisciplinary leadership and computer science, earning his degree in 2012. He emerged with more than just book smarts. His education gave him a new way to approach mining, blending technology and leadership into a formula that would prove invaluable. While others saw gold mining as sheer muscle and grit, he was ready to bring brains into the equation. Armed with his degree, he returned to the family business with fresh ideas and a renewed determination. Between 2011 and 2013, he led the Eureka campsite, a critical mining project that further solidified his role as a leader. His management wasn't just about keeping the operations running, it was about pushing boundaries. He found ways to make the process faster, safer, and more efficient, proving that modern methods could work hand in hand with traditional mining techniques. But his talents didn't stop at leadership. He was a master of machinery, a wizard with a welding torch, and a mechanical genius who could make even the most stubborn equipment purr like a kitten. This hands-on expertise became one of his greatest assets. Whether it was fabricating new parts or breathing life into aging machinery, his skills saved the Beets mining operations both time and money. It's no exaggeration to say that his technical know-how became a backbone of the family's success. While his focus was firmly on the business, his work also earned him a spot in the spotlight. The Discovery Channel's Gold Rush brought the Beets family into millions of living rooms, and he became a familiar face for fans of the show. On screen, his expertise and dedication were evident, but so was his drive to modernize mining techniques. He wasn't content to stick with the old ways. He advocated for innovation. Whether it was new technology or safer practices, he was always pushing the boundaries of what the family business could achieve. In his personal life, he found someone who shared his passion for mining and his relentless work ethic. His partner, Faith Ting, became not just a teammate on Gold Rush, but also a pillar of support in his life. Together, they navigated the high-pressure world of mining, proving that shared goals could make a strong foundation for both love and work. Their relationship reflected his commitment not just to his career, but to building something lasting in every aspect of his life. His story is one of grit, determination, and an unyielding desire to improve. From a 13-year-old learning the ropes in the mines to a university graduate revolutionizing the family business, his path has been anything but ordinary. Along the way, he has shown that mining isn't just about digging for gold, it's about constantly evolving and finding new ways to succeed. For him, the future looks as bright as the gold he spent his life chasing, and his contributions to the industry are sure to leave a lasting mark. Is Kevin's decision to partner with Parker a smart move for the future, or is it an unforgivable betrayal of family loyalty? Tell us what you think and remember to like and subscribe for more.